Hello, traders. E from marketwizards.com and eminiwizard.com. Just wanted to say a quick hello to a few people. I haven't had a video out in a while. Just take a quick peek at a few things. It's thundering and lightning here, and no sense in pushing my luck at this hour of the day. A reminder: use risk capital you can afford to lose if you're playing this game. All right, let's take a look at a couple of basic ideas today with market structure. I'll run through a couple of the charts for those of you interested, learning about the methodology that I use, which is different from a lot of people using profile. And there's no one right way. It's whatever works for you. I'm so used to this style that I've migrated over to NQ, and I'm finding that the system works there very well. Let's take a quick peek. And this is my primary setup, and I can take a quick look at a 2 day. This is set for 2 days, so I can see yesterday's range, and I want to pay attention to things like yesterday's low. I want to see areas like this where we had a retest that then they popped it and squeezed into the close. But then we got the bucket shop close, and we had the retest, but then we fell back through it and lost that. And you can see how important it was on the bounce back. That held, keeping those traders trapped. So with this chart right now, I'm looking, and I always go by one zone to the next. So I imagine that there is a red circle here and a green one underneath. But I'm always interested in what zone are we in basis each particular chart. And if I want to just jump back, so we can see by this that this 18 area is a very important middle of a 2 day swing. And if we want to go and just see the 1 day resistance levels and potential support levels, I've got this set up right now for our resistance zone, obviously. And here's where we're trying to resolve this level right here, this 55, 56 area. And then obviously that 26, we had pointed that out at one point, but make sure you were paid coming into this 28 area, 29 area, and 22s. So, and I'm playing off of yesterday's low when I'm thinking like that. Then we got the lunch shop. We thought that it was too steep. You can see this is usually very steep unless you've got a crash. And then we get the afternoon. What I was looking for was the late contra because we never really got one that was sustained at lunchtime. So those are our 2 days. When we come back here, let's take a look here. This is our weeklies, and we can see that this last pop got us up here, challenging that 15. So this is the way I would set it now. And okay, this is our closing zone here. You're going to expect this area 58s to hold, and obviously the 18 to hold. So you're range trading these two boxes right now. And this is off of Darvis box theory, which I love. And I've got a line here, basis last week's low. I want to pay attention to that. For any downside, we need to penetrate and stay below that. And we can see that's not happened yet. So I wanted to pay attention to that as well this afternoon. Pretty important idea in trading. And then this is the monthly look. Spotted this diagonal, thought that this might be valid, and so far it's played out. Had the double top up here yesterday, and then got the break. And then once we took out and this level here, the 60s, you could see how all of a sudden that just triggered the downside to come back and test some support lows. So by this chart, this 10, 11, pretty important middle right now, basis in the month. Going to keep an eye on that going forward. And when we're looking at the bigger picture, we'll slide that up. That's our resistance box. That's our support box. And now this low back in here, this support area is held. So we're going to look at that 21, 22 again. I thought important. And basis 30-minute chart, you can see the tails, not much staying power down here. So that's a clue also that you want to try to regress. There's a big level with our system, 15K, as was the top up here, 15,156 and a quarter. So we always look for these key levels to either hold or break and become support. So right now, that's a pretty interesting look, I think, at going forward, levels that are important for us. RTH chart, we can see we got our 60 back push, right? Took out the high, couldn't sustain it, fell back below it, the IB high, and then bounced to the middle, came back, made the new low, and then obviously a 60 back. So this is a pretty strong bounce into the close. I was looking at a 3-minute chart today. Thought this was a pretty good chart. If you want to look at the fives, they were also very good. But whatever catches your eye and whatever works for the tempo that you like to trade. And I was using the threes also. I thought the threes were pretty good proxy. You can see how we had the big dump here, and then we got subsequent lows, but that was a volume divergence, really class A. And then off we took and bounce, and no one should be surprised by profit taking swings that get goosed by the boys. That's just how they do it. And yesterday was classic example of that. Wow. And angels and demons set up, 25 and a quarter set up. You can see once you get back up, you get tested, you hold the lows. It wants to migrate to the middle. And if you get above it, you've got to hold that middle to get up here and test the demon up here. That's your demon. And this works for RTH, and it also works for um, the Globex too. Sometimes that gets stuck a bit, especially when it's moving faster. And I find that to be true with NQ. And I've got a few other charts on another monitor, and I keep track of IB low and high. I want to know those values and understand where we are relative to that. I'm trying to automate as many charts as I can. Just frees you up to think and frees you up to do the work. And I still do my, spreadsheets. I still, by the end of the day, have them all filled out. But I'm migrating to the NQ because the volatility until today has really been better, I think, for taking a look at trading the NQs. But I still keep track. Still know what is important to me here. The double at the 12s. We thought the 14 to 12 very important. That was a OTF as we talked about here, that 14 area, and that's held. And we've come back to the 2-day middle. So very nice beast, but it's been so slow recently that I said let's give the NQ a try as well. So the system that I use, just cobble together some ideas, try to pay attention to smart guys out there on Twitter, learn from them as well, and then realistically put our own ideas together so we can come up with a plan and hopefully take some capital out of the market on a regular basis. And that's not going to happen all the time, but certainly if it happens enough, it's a business. And we can see where this 20 area had held, where we talked about, and obviously just above us, that 10, 11 area that we had talked about, pretty important right now. Hope that gives you a little insight into things I'm looking at. I wish all of you guys well, stay healthy, enjoy the rest of your summer. Get in touch if you would like any more information about how we like to trade, and we try to help each other. Zeke and I have been doing this for years and years, probably 25 years now, and love to run into people who want to trade together and help each other out. So Best to you and yours, and stay healthy.